Sir, we need you to come with us. Let's not make this harder than it is.
You're really gonna do this here? At his burial?
Stop, please. This is my dad's best friend. He promised he'd look after us. My mom, she gave him this picture. You can't take him now. Kid, we're just doing our job.
The police officer reached for his handcuffs and pointed at the biker. "You're under arrest. Turn around now." Then a 7-year-old girl in a black dress stepped between them. What happened next left everyone in tears. It was a cold Tuesday morning at Riverside Cemetery in Portland, Oregon. Robert "Ghost" Callahan stood at his best friend's grave, tears streaming down his weathered face. Danny Martinez had been more than a friend. He'd been a brother. They'd served together in Iraq, rode together for 15 years, saved each other's lives more times than either could count. And now Danny was gone. Cancer had taken him at just 42 years old. Ghost wore his leather cut, covered in patches and road dust. His hands shook as he held a folded American flag. Around him stood 30 other bikers from the Iron Brotherhood MC, all veterans, all saying goodbye to one of their own. The funeral had been beautiful. Danny's wife Rachel had asked the Iron Brotherhood to give him a proper send-off. The bikers had lined the route with their motorcycles. Flags flying, engines rumbling in tribute. It was what Danny would have wanted. But as the ceremony ended, 3 police cars pulled up to the cemetery entrance. 6 officers stepped out, led by Sergeant Howard Brennan. Brennan was known in Portland for his hatred of motorcycle clubs. He didn't care if they were veterans, didn't care if they were law-abiding. To him, bikers were criminals. Period. Brennan marched across the cemetery grass, his hand resting on his gun. The mourners turned to watch, confused. Rachel clutched her daughter Lily close. "What's happening?" someone whispered. Brennan stopped directly in front of Ghost. "Robert Callahan?" Ghost wiped his eyes. "That's me. Can this wait? We're at a funeral." "No, it can't wait," Brennan said loudly, making sure everyone could hear. "You're under arrest for assault and battery." The bikers immediately tensed, hands clenched into fists. But Ghost raised his hand, signaling them to stay calm. "Assault? What are you talking about?" "3 days ago, you attacked a man outside Murphy's bar," Brennan announced. "Jason Whitmore. He filed a complaint. You broke his nose and 2 ribs." Ghost's face showed confusion. "I've never heard of Jason Whitmore." "I've been at the hospital with Danny for the past week. He died 3 days ago. I haven't left Rachel's side since." "That's a lie," Brennan said. "Mr. Whitmore identified you from your photo, your jacket, your motorcycle. Now turn around and put your hands behind your back." "This is insane," Ghost said. "I was at Portland General Hospital." "There are records, witnesses. Rachel, tell him." Rachel stepped forward, her voice breaking. "Officer, please." "Ghost has been with us constantly. He was holding Danny's hand when he passed. He hasn't left our side. This is my husband's funeral. Please, not today." "Ma'am, I understand your grief," Brennan said without emotion. "But I have a warrant. This man is a criminal, funeral or no funeral." The other bikers started moving closer. Tank, a massive man with a gray beard, spoke up. "This is harassment. You've been after our club for years. You're using a funeral to make a point." "Stand back," Brennan warned, his hand moving to his gun. "All of you, or I'll arrest you for obstruction." That's when 7-year-old Lily Martinez broke free from her mother's arms. She was wearing a black dress, her dark hair in pigtails. Her face was red from crying. She'd just buried her father, and now she ran straight toward Ghost and the police. "Lily, no!" Rachel called out. But Lily didn't stop. She ran right up to Sergeant Brennan and looked up at him with tear-filled eyes. "Please don't take Uncle Ghost." Brennan looked down, clearly uncomfortable. "Little girl, go back to your mother." "No," Lily said firmly. "You can't arrest him." "He didn't hurt anybody." "Lily, I have a job to do," Brennan said. "Your job is to lie." The little girl's voice carried across the cemetery. Everyone went silent. Brennan's face reddened. "Excuse me?" "Uncle Ghost was with us," Lily said. "Every single day. He brought me coloring books. He sat with my daddy. He held my mommy when she cried. He was there when Daddy died. I was there too. I saw him." "The complaint says otherwise," Brennan insisted. Lily reached into her small purse and pulled out her phone, a pink smartphone with a unicorn case. "I can prove it." "Lily, what are you doing?" Rachel asked. "Remember, Mommy? You told me to take pictures, to remember the good times with Daddy before he went to heaven." So I took lots of pictures. Lily scrolled through her phone with small fingers. Then she held it up to Brennan. See? This is 3 days ago. The date is right there. That's Uncle Ghost reading to Daddy. That's the hospital room. You can see the machines. You can see everything. Brennan looked at the phone. His confidence flickered. And this one, Lily continued swiping, this is Uncle Ghost helping Daddy eat. And this one is Uncle Ghost sleeping in the chair because he wouldn't leave. And this one is from when Daddy died. Uncle Ghost is holding Daddy's hand. See the time? It says 6:47 p.m. What time did that man say Uncle Ghost attacked him? Brennan checked his report. His face went pale. 6:30 p.m. So Uncle Ghost was at the hospital when Daddy died, not attacking someone, Lily said. Her voice was steady despite her tears. Which means someone lied to you, and you believed them. And now you're trying to arrest Uncle Ghost at my daddy's funeral. The other officers were looking at each other uncomfortably. One of them, a younger cop named Officer Hayes, stepped forward. Sergeant, maybe we should verify this first. I have a warrant, Brennan said stubbornly. Based on false information, Ghost said quietly. Someone set me up. And you were so eager to arrest a biker that you didn't even check if I had an alibi. Lily tugged on Brennan's sleeve. My daddy told me that police officers are supposed to be heroes. He said they help people. He said they protect people. Is that true? Brennan looked down at her, and for the first time his expression softened. That's what we try to do, yes. Then why are you hurting us? Lily asked. My daddy just died. Uncle Ghost is all we have left. He's family. And you're trying to take him away on the day we buried Daddy. That's not helping. That's hurting. Rachel came up and put her hand on Lily's shoulder, but she looked directly at Brennan. My husband loved Ghost like a brother. Danny's last words were, take care of my girls. He was talking to Ghost, and Ghost promised he would. Are you really going to arrest a man who just watched his best friend die? On the day of the funeral? Based on a complaint you didn't even verify? The cemetery had filled with more people now, other mourners from the service, people from the neighborhood who'd heard the commotion. Someone was recording on their phone. Tank spoke up again. Sergeant Brennan, everyone in Portland knows you hate motorcycle clubs. But this is low even for you. Arresting a veteran at his brother's funeral? Based on what? A complaint from someone named Jason Whitmore? What about Jason Whitmore? A voice called from the crowd. An elderly man pushed forward. He was wearing a suit and looked official. I'm Judge Raymond Carter, retired. I live across the street from the cemetery. I heard the commotion. Did you say Jason Whitmore filed the complaint? That's correct, Your Honor, Officer Hayes said. Jason Whitmore is currently in county jail, Judge Carter said. He's been there for 2 weeks. I know because I'm the one who sentenced him. Assault and drug possession. So unless he filed this complaint from jail, someone is using his name. Brennan's face went from red to white. That's impossible. The complaint came through official channels. Then someone in your department didn't do their job, Judge Carter said firmly. Or someone intentionally filed a false report. Either way, you have no grounds for this arrest. Ghost looked at Brennan. Someone wanted me arrested today. Someone who knew this was Danny's funeral. Someone who wanted to disrupt it and humiliate me in front of his family. The question is who? Officer Hayes pulled out his radio. Dispatch, this is Hayes. Can you verify the current location of Jason Whitmore? The radio crackled. Whitmore, Jason, currently incarcerated at Multnomah County Detention Center. Sentence began 2 weeks ago. Brennan's hand fell away from his handcuffs. He looked at the warrant in his hand like it was a snake. Sergeant, Officer Hayes said quietly, we need to leave, now, before this gets worse. But Lily wasn't done. She stepped closer to Brennan, her small hand reaching out to touch his uniform. Officer, my daddy said that real heroes admit when they make mistakes. He said that's what makes them heroes. Not being perfect, being honest. Are you a real hero? Brennan looked down at this 7-year-old girl who just buried her father. A girl who should be crying and broken, but instead was standing up for someone she loved. His eyes got wet. Brennan started, then stopped. He took off his hat. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I should have verified the information before coming here. I let my personal feelings about motorcycle clubs cloud my judgment. That was unprofessional. And coming here today, to a funeral, That was cruel. I apologize to you, Mr. Callahan, and to you, Mrs. Martinez, and especially to you, Lily. You're right. Real heroes admit their mistakes. I made a big one today. The cemetery was silent. No one had expected that. Ghost extended his hand. Thank you for the apology, Sergeant. Brennan shook his hand. For what it's worth, I'll be investigating who filed that false report. Someone tried to use my department to hurt you. That's a serious crime. I appreciate that, Ghost said. Lily looked up at both men. Does this mean Uncle Ghost isn't going to jail? No, sweetheart, Brennan said, kneeling down to her level. He's not going to jail. And I'm sorry I scared you. Today should be about remembering your daddy, not about police and arrests. I'm very sorry. Lily thought for a moment, then hugged him. My daddy said forgiveness is important, so I forgive you, but please check your facts next time before you try to arrest people at funerals. Brennan actually laughed through his tears. Yes, ma'am, I promise. The other officers got back in their cars, but before Brennan left, he approached Judge Carter. Your Honor, I'd like to request a formal investigation into this false complaint. Someone manipulated official channels to target Mr. Callahan. I'll make some calls, Judge Carter said. This kind of corruption won't be tolerated. As the police cars left, the funeral mourners gathered around Ghost and Lily. Rachel was crying again, but this time with relief. The bikers formed a protective circle around the Martinez family. Ghost picked up Lily and held her on his hip. You know what, little warrior? Your daddy would be so proud of you right now. I just told the truth, Lily said. Like Daddy taught me. The truth is powerful, Ghost said. You saved me today. Not with fists or guns, with truth and courage. That's more powerful than anything. Tank wiped his eyes. Kids got more guts than all of us combined. The bikers started their motorcycles. A final rumble for Danny. Lily asked Ghost to put her down, and she walked to her father's grave. She placed a small toy motorcycle on the headstone. For Daddy, she said, so he can ride with you in heaven. Ghost knelt beside her. He's already riding, Lily. I can feel him. He's proud of you. So proud. Rachel joined them, and the three of them stood together at Danny's grave. The Iron Brotherhood stood behind them, a wall of leather and loyalty. As the sun began to set, Judge Carter approached Ghost. Mr. Callahan, I did some asking around. The false complaint was filed by a man named Derek Morrison. He's the president of a rival motorcycle club, the Jackals. He's been trying to start a war with the Iron Brotherhood for months. Ghost nodded slowly. He used Danny's funeral to make a move. Knew I'd be vulnerable, emotional. The police are going to arrest him for filing a false report and for attempting to corrupt official proceedings, Judge Carter said. He'll do time for this. Good, Ghost said, but not today. Today is about Danny. Tomorrow we deal with enemies. Today we honor a brother. 3 months later, Rachel called Ghost. Lily wants to show you something. Ghost rode to their house. Lily ran out, holding a paper. It was her school essay. The title read, My Hero, Uncle Ghost. The essay described the funeral, described how Ghost had stood up to injustice, how he'd stayed calm, how he'd been there for her family. But the last line made Ghost cry. Uncle Ghost isn't a hero because he's tough or because he rides a motorcycle. He's a hero because he keeps his promises. He promised my daddy he'd take care of us. And he does. Every single day. Ghost framed that essay. It hangs in his garage next to a picture of Danny. And every year on the anniversary of Danny's death, Ghost takes Lily to the cemetery. They place flowers on the grave. They tell stories about Danny. And sometimes, if you listen carefully, you can hear the distant rumble of a motorcycle engine. Like Danny's riding alongside them, proud of his daughter, proud of his brother, proud that truth and courage won the day. Because sometimes the smallest voices carry the biggest truth. Sometimes a 7-year-old girl is braver than a dozen armed officers. And sometimes the best way to honor the dead is to protect the living they left behind. That's what Ghost does. Every day. Because he made a promise. And bikers don't break promises, especially not to their brothers, especially not to little girls who still believe in heroes. And in Portland, Oregon, there's a sergeant who learned that day that heroes come in all forms. Sometimes they wear badges, sometimes they wear leather, and sometimes they wear pigtails and carry unicorn phones filled with truth.